Hey, film lovers, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and welcome to the latest edition of Under the Radar Review, where I pick a film or a CD of something that I believe deserves a little bit more love, has been neglected or forgotten over the years, and I'm here to kind of give you a little reminder, a little shove to say, hey, give it a look-see, you might like it. And this one is 1994's Léon, the Professional, written and directed by Luc Besson. The film stars Jean Reno as Léon, Natalie Portman in her feature film debut as Matilda, Gary Oldman as Norman Stansfield, Michael Badalucco as Matilda's father, and Danny Aiello as Tony. So basically, Jean Reno is a hitman or cleaner who works for Tony, played by Danny Aiello. And Léon lives in this building, and he crosses paths with Natalie Portman's character Matilda, who's growing up in a basically a dysfunctional family. The father is basically storing drugs for the DEA. They're kind of assuming that he's kind of selling some of it. So he crosses paths with the big bad guy played by Gary Oldman, who plays Norman Stansfield, a corrupt DEA agent. So they think he stole some drugs or has sold some. So he's in trouble. So Gary Oldman sends a couple of his goons to kill the whole family. Matilda escapes she does a kind of like a milk run for Léon. He drinks a lot of milk in this movie. He's very childlike in this movie. And so she goes off to get milk for him, comes back, realizes that her family has been assassinated. And she walks right by her apartment and hits on Léon's door and begs him to let her in. He reluctantly does so. And there becomes this journey of a father-daughter relationship being created, all the while she's hoping that Léon will teach her how to become a cleaner so she can get revenge on the guys that killed her parents. Her kid, her little baby brother is the most important. That she really feels sad for that, but seek revenge for the death of her family. Very stylishly filmed. The violence is very, very nice. It's very graphic at times, but very cool. There's a scene where Léon is hiding in the darkness and comes in front of this guy with a knife and puts on it. So very, very nicely shot. The violence is violent, very violent, but the tender moments are tender. So it's just like real life. There's not really over the top violence. There's just hardcore violence, and it balances out with the tenderness of the film. Outstanding performance, of course, Natalie Portman as Matilda, phenomenal, plays a kid wise beyond her years. Jean Reno as Léon, who plays the innocent hitman, if you can say that, innocent hitman in one sentence. You have to see the movie to understand. Gary Oldman as Stansfield is probably one of the greatest villains ever filmed. I know a lot of people mention Alan Rickman from Die Hard, who plays Hans Gruber. I'm going to say Gary Oldman can up there with him as one of the most scariest or intimidating villains, because you can't root for your hero. I've always said this in my reviews. You can't root for the hero if the villain is lame, and Gary Oldman is not. This is hilarious. There's scenes where he can smell if you're lying, so he'll walk right up to you and kind of a little bit like a Silence of the Lambs aura going on at that point, and he can smell when someone's lying to him. And there's a certain part when he wants to get people back, and he's like, "You want us to get everybody?" He goes, "Yeah, everybody!" And he's over the top, but it's an intense performance. If you've never seen this movie, just to see it for Gary Oldman playing the bad guy. But everybody in here is phenomenal. But Gary Oldman, I think, makes the movie, because like I said, you can't root for your hero if the villain is lame, and Gary Oldman brings it to a whole new level. And I'm gonna dare say it, if Alan Rickman is number one, Gary Oldman has gotta be 2, 3 in the top 5 villains of all time. I'm telling you, he's really intense in this thing. I was scared the first time. I sat there going, what on earth is he doing? Sniffing the guy, and I'm in the theater going like this, I said, oh my God. You have to see this once in your life. Like I said, the action sequences are incredible, but it balances out with the tenderness between Matilda and Léon. I know Natalie Portman has said recently that she finds some of the scenes cringy, because she is 12 years old and he is a grown man. And she does admit her love for him, but I think because she's never really had a father figure in this movie, that the first guy that's showing her about life and teaching her the basics about not swearing, not smoking, everything, I think she just fell in love with someone showing her, because he never reciprocates any kind of love. There's never any kind of innuendo that you kind of think he's stepping over the line. There's he's touching a child. No, he's playing either like a big brother at times or a father, and I've never seen it as cringy. I don't think you will either. There's a fine line because she does mention she loves him, but you can see he kind of ignores it. He never says that like the way she says it to him. He never says it back to her. Only near the end, he kind of tells her, "I love you. This is why I'm helping you escape. To have a life, to create something." I took it very much as a fatherly love or a big brother love. I never saw it as cringy. So, but that's up to you to decide. I urge you, if you like action movies that have great characters, stylishly filmed sequences, great soundtrack, this is one of those movies. I know this came out around the same time as Speed with Keanu Reeves. I remember trying to go see Speed. It was sold out. I went to another theater and saw this, and I was so happy that I did. And I've been a fan ever since. I love this movie, and I think you will too. So please search it out. Do yourself a favor. You will be highly, highly entertained with this movie. And this is Steven with my Under the Radar review of Léon, the professional from Luc Besson. I'll be seeing you soon, guys.